it's for you to not sit in the shadows and be like, I'm not going to commit because I'm scared. No, face your fear. Stop allowing the enemy to trick you into these cycles of relationships that have nothing to do with God. All you're doing is defiling you and defiling your connection to God. You can't hear God as well when you in sin. You just can't. When you're not being obedient, you're not hearing God like that. You're just not. You might have moments where you hear him and moments where you don't, but God is calling you out of this cycle. And that's going to be against everything your family's done. That's going to be the one thing, like your family may have never done it right with women. Your family may have never done it right with men, but God is calling you, and God is calling a lot of us into a state of doing something new. There is a new temple. There is a new church that is being built, and you can choose. You can choose to be a part of it or not. You can sit here, you can make jokes on this live if you want to. I came here to really get at it. What we're seeing on the media and all these jokes that some men are making about how they conduct their lifestyles and for not protecting and providing, and making jokes about how they don't want to be in covenant, how they don't want to be in commitment. And there's a lot of men adopting those principles as if that is law. And then they're making more broken homes in our community and making a joke out of the things that our forefathers built. I'm here to tell you guys, it's time to change. That isn't cute. To sit here and be non-committal. That ain't cute. What is that? Lacking discipline? That's not cute. That's the most unattractive thing you could tell me. Any man sit up here and laugh about what he won't do for somebody else is not attractive to me. I don't care what you got going on. Mark my words, it's not attractive to me. How you won't take responsibility, and unfortunately today, we got women, because we want to be with certain types of men. We allow certain things like that. We sit here and tolerate certain things like that, where a man is openly disrespecting us or openly disrespecting the relationship that we have. No. Because with some of these things, family, I'm not going to lie. We already not in the right situation because we living together and we not married. But when you out here and you're talking about me like that, and we're not married, oh, you coming home to an empty house, beloved, for sure. And I might have changed my number. I'm good. I'm keeping it 100 with you. What we do in our household don't need to be a joke to anybody else, because now it's a show. Now you're putting on a show for other people. You want other people to like what you're doing. You want other people to be okay with how we're conducting our private relationship. No, you could be in a relationship with you and you. And I'm gone with the wind bullseye. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your energy. I'm out of here. Say I won't. Say I wouldn't, because I sure would. And we just living together. We just shacking up. No. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. That's the problem, family. We got too many people on both sides, because women, I'm coming for y'all next. And I can come at y'all a different way because I'm a woman too. But what you're not going to do is call it masculinity while you're making a joke about what you don't do for me. Why you got to make a joke about what we got going on in our relationship? Does that make you feel more like a man? And family, if you want to live a lifestyle and you want to be out here and you don't want to get married, don't try to make it Bible. Don't try to make it God's way. Just say that's your way. That'd be bothering me the most. If you want to be out here and you don't want to marry who you with, and you don't want to, that's not what you want to do, don't make that God's way. Don't sit up in no church and try to find a scripture to justify how you live in your life. Just say, I'm sinning and this is what I'm doing right now. I know I'm not living right. I know I'm out of God's order. I know I'm not in God's alignment. Instead of trying to find a way to make what you're doing right. What you're doing is wrong. We know it's wrong. Let's just get over that. It's almost like, I have a child. Y'all, some of y'all have children. It's almost like with my daughter, I'll say, okay, so what are we supposed to do? Well, you said that we need to go do the dishes, mommy. Okay, what did you do instead? I colored on the wall. Okay, that's not what mommy asked. Well, I mean, you said that you were going to go in another room and then no. We can go all around the merry-go-round. What did mommy say and what did you do? You can talk about where I went. You can talk about who I talked to. You can say I was on the phone. You can say a lot of things, but what did I say and what did you do? It's mama talk. That's how God looks at us. He's better than me, obviously. He's more tolerant, he's more loving, God is such a good father. And I feel so passionately, y'all. I did a video and I said I love men. I have two brothers, y'all, and I have a stepdad, a dad. I have very beautiful men in my life that are strong, that are protectors, that are providers, quality men, right? And so I have a passion for men because I don't like men being talked about in the way that they've been talked about. I don't like that men being represented in the way that they've been represented. I don't like it. But I see what the media is doing and the ammunition that we give them. The ammunition that we give them to speak about our community the way that we do because of how we act and how we conduct our relationships, where we prop up the families. We prop up people that stayed married and are together. Like, it's not the norm in our community to see a couple last a long period of time and have a family together. That's not what we see. So when we see it, we're like, oh my goodness, y'all been married this whole time and those are all y'all kids together? Like, that's not no child from another marriage. Like, that's what you see. I'm not gonna lie, if I saw a couple that's Caucasian, they walk in, they got 3 kids. I'm not thinking that she had a baby with somebody else or he had a baby with somebody else. I'm thinking that those 3 kids are there from their relationship. But if another couple comes in and they've got multiple children, they're all y'all. That's from y'all together. We don't even see how crazy that is. We don't even see, and the fact that it's reflected like it's true, because we prop up these men that are not taking full responsibility of one household because of fear. Maybe they've been hurt before, whatever the case may be. I'm calling y'all out. Men of God, men that deep down want to be men of God. I bring up Cam not because I have anything against him. I just watched parts of the interview. But I saw how he was fighting for his perspective. And what I saw from that was a man who wants to be a man of God. A man who desires to be right with God. A man who doesn't want anything that he's doing to take him out of alignment. But there are just certain things that maybe he doesn't fully understand or he hasn't fully grasped. But there was that tug was, I want to be a man of God. And I think there's a lot of us. I know I felt it too. God's calling y'all. He's calling you out of the boat, and he's calling you to do something your family may have never done. Calling you to be something you've never seen before. And it's not for you to run away. It's not for you to be scared of. It's for you to dig in. I'm calling you out of fear. I'm rebuking and binding fear in the name of Jesus. And I'm saying to every man that's on this live, it's time for us to have something different to say about our men and the generation of men that we're raising. We're not raising men that are running away from discipline. We're not raising men that are running away from responsibility. We're not raising men that are running away from commitment and covenant. And all of those put together, you're running away from God. Because in order to have a relationship with God, you have to have discipline. You have to be committed. And it is a covenant. And there are responsibilities. Somebody said this on this live, and I thought it was a very beautiful point. He said, if you don't know how to have a relationship with God, you don't know how to be committed. If you don't know how to be committed to God, how can you be committed to anybody else? And I feel like there's people that are committed, I'm not saying that's, but I personally desire a man with God, man of God. I personally do. I desire a man who has his own relationship with God. There was a time where I didn't want that because of the men that I had met in my life that were men of God that didn't represent themselves as men of God. Like, they're saying they're men of God, but the way that they're walking the path, the fruit wasn't there. I've been hurt by men that call themselves men of God. That's a label that's real strong, family. And I really hear, like, for me, when I meet true men of God, it's some of the most attractive things that these men say, because they want any man that's in covenant with God. I have not met one that even thinks twice about being the protector, the provider, the covering, the leader. I haven't heard one of them complain about that role. They relish in being able to be that rock for their family. They're like, I'm ready to be the rock that we build our house on. I'm ready for God to use me in that way so that legacy could be built off of my name. What kind of legacy can you build when you ain't willing to commit to nobody? What kind of legacy are you trying to build when you're not willing to be in covenant? We serve a covenant keeping God. The foundation of our commitment is your relationship with God. And family, if we're living any kind of way, we don't have that relationship. Our relationship is wildly tainted. I want a generation of men of God to just stand up. That is what we need. That is what our world needs. Real men of God, not this fake, performative, oh, I just am in the church all the time, but we find you're exposed in some car with some random woman, or you're doing some dirt. No, real men of God that may not look like what you would normally see. I know I'm not what you would normally see in somebody's church thrown out on the altar. There's men all the time that write me about, I don't see women like you really being in church like this. Like, this is a beautiful thing to see. No, I want to see a man of God. I want to see men of God like that, where you all tatted up, you got tattoos all over, or you like a Philip Anthony Mitchell, who don't have tattoos all over, but he come from New York. You already know. You see certain men, it's like I think it's Tim Timberlake, the other guy who's also had associated with street life, and then they turned over and now they have their pastors of churches, and they're very masculine men. They're like they're not only the rock in their family, they're not only the head of their household, they're the head of an entire community of people. Come on, 2819, those are thousands of members. That's a mantle you carry. And these are men that are like, I'm run at me the wrong way with my family, and we swinging. Run at me the wrong way, and your boy is about to go New York on you. Like, and I love that. I love that. We need to see more of that. God is calling out men of God. It's what I want to see in the body of Christ so bad. More men of God. We got a bunch of women in churches. But when I see men that are sold out for God, it's different. They're so filled with purpose. They're so filled with, it's like there's something about it that is so wildly attractive, because they speak a different language. They're moving in a situation, like they're moving with integrity in the church. I see this man in my church he married man and things like that, handsome guy, whatever the case may be. He moves in very, like, he's a pastor or whatever, but he's moving in very, I'm like, wow, see, he is not playing about his family. He's like, no, I'm not ever going to put myself in a situation that I can't get myself out of. Like, I'm going to keep myself accountable. I am not going to let myself fall into temptation. And women be up in the church. I mean, we in Atlanta. There's women on every doorstep of the church. And he's keeping himself protected in that environment for his family. That's strength. It's not strength when we just be, yes, there's wisdom in avoiding temptation and like not putting yourselves in such in unwise situations to compromise what you're building. But I would want, and I'm just saying this for me, I want a man to know that when I walk into a room, he don't have to worry about who come at me. If he's, and I'm sure, I don't know who the man is. But if I was to walk, if I was to go to an environment and he's not with me, he don't have to worry about what I got going on. He don't have to worry like is Sam gonna be faithful? What's Sam about to do? Is Sam gonna like he knows like nah, she was disciplined for like years before we even got together. Like I know and I don't care who come at my girl. I know my girl is whatever, but I know who I got. I can trust her. I want to be able to say that about my man too. I want to be able to say that I can trust you. I can trust that you are disciplined enough, and you don't just become disciplined. You don't just become disciplined. You practice shooting in the gym. You don't just get into a marriage and now you're disciplined. No, you become disciplined before you get in the marriage. I become disciplined before I ever got in the marriage. My husband don't got to worry about me because I'm already like this and I don't have to be like this. I don't have to be like, no, God, if it's not him, leave me alone. I don't have to be like that. But for my husband, for the God that God has given, that God has promised me, I'm doing that. I'm like, I don't see nobody. I'm not talking to nobody. Until God says this is him, I'm like, And I know that in the future, all this sacrifice will mean something to the person that God has for me. Because maybe that's an area he's sensitive in. Maybe his last situation that wasn't like that. And for a woman to be waiting on him, that's going to mean a lot to him. I know that. But I also know in reverse, I want that same man to have been mindful of me, even if he didn't know it was me that he was being mindful for. I will want him to be mindful like that for me. I'm speaking as a woman, like as somebody's future wife. I will want to know my husband was intentional for me. I really would. I will want to know that he was able to be disciplined for me. I want to know that he's already like preparing for me because I'm preparing for him. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.